Lake Arkansas.
Horseback riding.
Texas Hill Country.
Mammoth Monument.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Bear and Wolf Zoo.
College Station, Texas.
Ostrich Farm.
Bentonville.
Yellowstone.
Nacogdoches.
Fort Worth Stockyards.
Queens Creek, Arizona. Taylor, Texas. Bella Vista, Arkansas. Elkins, Arkansas.
That's not fair. Epic Waters. Six Flags. Lots of shopping. Kemah Boardwalk.
Paradise, Texas. Sandy, Utah. Branson, Missouri.
Are you trying to outdo me? Dinner with friends and family.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to On the Road with Kirk and Harvest. We are on the road.
Working while traveling has been kind of interesting. When I was at our house, just working, you know, the work week is just a typical work week. You do your 9 to 5 or whatever, and then, you know, if there's time after work to do other things, then I would do those, but they're typically not, they're just at the house. I'm not really doing anything unless it's errands. This is a little bit different. After the normal work day is over, then it's like family day every day. We can either just hang out at the house, or we can go see some sights and sounds. We can go travel to a water park, or visit some friends for dinner. So it's not been every single night, but it's been lots of different nights where we've been able to go out and just do different things. So it's been pretty cool.
It's been interesting because a lot of our daily lives is still very much the same. I mean, I still have to do grocery shopping once a week. We still cook meals, most of the meals at home. We still do some minimal schoolwork where the kids are, you know, it is summertime, so they're not doing a ton of schoolwork. They're doing math, and they're doing some of the work like exploring the states and journaling and things like that. But the kids still have a lot of free time, and so we're still working. One of the things that Kirk does, you know, when he's done with work sometimes is, or it's not all playing, sometimes he's doing car maintenance, or he's even found a couple of the Airbnbs that we've been at in need of some minor repairs, so he'll do that because he's got some tools. So there's still things that we are doing, like I'm cleaning, doing laundry. Mimi does a lot of the dishes, but we all pitch in there. Yeah, she does a lot of the cooking too, which is really nice.
The tough part about, or the hardest part about working on the road is that I don't have my nice desk and office chair set up anymore. I had a pretty great little office set up at home, and so now I have to use whatever there is to set my monitors up for my computer and stuff. For example, this last day I found a long entertainment, like a TV stand, and it was long enough to fit all three of my monitors on. They're 20-inch monitors, so that's 60 inches plus gaps in between, so you can imagine that's pretty long. And then we set that on top of our really large cooler to give it height. And then I had a chair that I was able to do. So, I mean, it's like that. We're setting my stuff up on a dresser, so wherever I've got a flat surface. There are kitchen tables and stuff, but if I take up the entire kitchen table, nobody's got a place to sit to eat. So that's been the most difficult part. But once I get it figured out and able to get it somewhat ergonomic, so my neck is not burning within the first 10 minutes of sitting, then it's okay. So it just takes a little bit of time.
I'm also wanting to help Kirk with him finding a workspace too. Him being at the table doesn't work because that's a common area. The kids are going in and out, and a lot of times he's talking with people, so we try to get him, it's usually in the master bedroom so that that door can be shut. But that does pose a problem because a lot of these houses are 2 bathrooms. The master bathroom usually has a lot of traffic during the day, so they're going in and out of that room to use the restroom. But we make it work, and Kirk is really gracious. So the cool thing about this adventure is we have been in new places all the time, and there's lots to do and see when you go to a new place. And you come into a city, and there could be anything from botanical gardens to a major theme park, and that has been really fun to explore. So for me, I did a lot of research ahead of time to the areas, generally within like a 50 to 75 mile radius of where we were planning on staying. Now the stays have changed just a little bit, so we might not be staying in exactly the area where I thought. So that's been kind of exciting because it's kind of a new adventure. Okay, what's around here? So while Kirk is working during the day, I've been able to take the kids on day trips and things like that. We don't do it every day. Maybe 2-3 times a week, we've been able to do things like go to Kima Boardwalk down in the Gulf of Mexico. And that was just a day trip. It was a 2-hour drive there. We spent all day, 2-hour drive home. And, Daddy doesn't get to go on all of them, which is sad. We do get to go and, go on adventures in the pool. Sometimes there's little community pools and things like that that we've been able to go to, and that keeps kids busy, keeps them happy, keeps them active. And ostrich farms we got to go to while Daddy was working. We got to go to ancient ruins while Daddy was working, things like that. On the weekends when we are all together, we have been able to go and do things like hiking in Bryce Canyon and Epic Waters, which was a giant indoor water park, and that's been fun. We get to take the whole family. The other time that we get to do really fun things is on our days like this, when we're traveling to our new destinations. So we'll purposefully navigate through to go to those really cool in-between places and go to as a family. So we got to see the North Rim of the Grand Canyon on our way down to the Phoenix area. It does sometimes make the treks longer, but it also breaks up the monotony of just being in the car for 6 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah, it is kind of a bummer to not be able to go on all the trips, but in all reality, I've been able to do more things with the family either on the weekends or after work than in the last couple months than I have in the last couple years. So in the grand scheme of things, it's still been pretty awesome to still get to do plenty of things. And so and I really value that. I just haven't had the opportunity, or at least I just haven't taken the opportunity to do all those different things. And now we've got the opportunity, and so we're just making the most of it. It's been pretty great.
I've also enjoyed being able to visit with friends and family in these states. We were able to go and visit my uncle, who I haven't seen in many years. He was in Missouri. It was a long trek, but Mom and I got to go up there and do that. We also had friends in Arkansas that we got to see, and that was a little weird for all of us because we're in a completely different state, seeing each other. But it was wonderful to visit with them and their family and see that they're thriving in Arkansas. And then other family who we hadn't seen in a long time, just being able to go to their house and see them, or their area, their little area area of the world and see how they're living, see what they're doing. That's been really great.
One of the other opportunities is just while I'm working during the day, maybe Harvest and Mimi will go off and they'll just explore a certain area. They'll be like, hey, let's go explore, such and such a city. So they'll take off for a half a day and do a day trip and just explore the area and see what's out there. So that's another way that they get to see what's available in where it is that we stay. The states we stay in, depending on where it is, Arkansas is relatively easy to get to other areas. States like Texas, it's a really long drive, so we've seen, proportionally a small area of places like Texas. The smaller states are going to be a little bit easier to see more areas, I think. But we'll just drive and see what we can see as much as we can.
We are fitting in a lot of road trips so far. We've 5,300 miles just on the van. That's not including Mimi's car. So let's say there's a couple of us that want to go and explore a certain area that day. We'll put a bunch of miles, maybe 200-300 miles on her car, and just experience that area. So for instance, when we were in Texas, when we were in the southern part of Texas in Huntsville, we decided to do a Nacogdoches trip. That was about an hour, 15 minutes from where we were staying. Another day we decided we were going to go to Texas Hill Country. That was a 4-hour drive there. And then we toured around a little while and then 4-hour drive back. So lots of miles being added to the vehicles. But for the most part, we purposefully went to each city knowing that if we go to this city, we can drive through this area because this is another area that we've explored or investigated on the internet or through friends or people who live here. That's an area that we should explore. We've been seeing a lot of the countryside where we know we'd like to live. I don't know that there has been any major areas that we've actually missed. If we thought we wanted to live there, we've gone there. Washington. I like that my daughter lives in Washington.
Well, Washington is actually not on our list of states that we consider living in. As far as growing, though, Washington's got some great growing zones. We did get to visit some family up in the San Juan Islands area, Whidbey Island. And Whidbey Island is beautiful. If you compare it to something like Savi's Island in Portland, I would kind of compare it to that type of atmosphere. You definitely feel like you're on an island when you're driving around. So super beautiful, great area. Just not ultimately the climate that we're looking for.
A little bit too cold and rainy. Trying to get away from that. Idaho.
Idaho was really pretty. A lot of great places in Idaho. Again, a little bit cold for us, but definitely much more sunshine, more sunny days per year than what we had in Oregon in our area anyways. Kind of as far as political climate, what we're looking for in that regard, definitely in line with our goals and desires. We have family there, so that's always nice as well. And Idaho is a pretty good state. There's lots to see there too. Just a gorgeous area. And but again, a little bit cold, but again, super beautiful.
I liked a lot of the sites in Idaho. We were down in the Nampa area and then kind of did this lower loop all the way up to Deer Island. It was beautiful. There was a lot of flatland, a lot of a wide open space, and then the farther north you get, a lot of mountains and mountain ranges. Just a little cold. Utah was beautiful. I really like Utah. I love the vast mountain ranges. I love the national parks galore, and the people there are really, really sweet. I really, really like them. Genuinely sweet. Lots and lots and lots of things to do there. It just gets really cold again, and there's a theme. We don't want to be in a cold area. But beautiful.
Yeah, I think as far as scenery goes, it's hard for me to think through every single state just right now on the fly, but I think the moment of the most breathtaking beauty was when we pulled into our house that we were going to stay at there in Sandy, Utah, and we walked out to the backyard, and there are the Rocky Mountains, literally just 20 minutes away from us. It was awe-inspiring. So as far as natural beauty, it's pretty tough to beat that. We actually did drive up a ways, saw a big, gorgeous ski resort up there. Obviously no snow that time of year, but it was a super, super beautiful area. Cute little town of Sandy. Like Harper said, great people. Lots to see, lots to do there. We didn't see a lot in the way of kind of the wide open spaces that we were looking for. Most of it in a lot of neighborhood areas, which were nice. I mean, as far as the beauty goes, just breathtaking.
Arizona.
So if I could vote multiple times for Arizona, I would. We've got friends there, and the weather is amazing. I can handle that dry heat all day long. Days of sunshine is off the charts per year, so we love that part. Beautiful, beautiful sunsets. There's the natural beauty, and then there's the beauty of the city, like structural beauty. And you have never seen freeways and bridges and medians and all of that in better shape than you will in Arizona, especially in the Phoenix area. But really, all the cities that we drove through, I mean, just ornate. The bridges and overpasses are works of art, and they're not full of graffiti and
garbage,
transients and garbage. And I mean, they are pristine. And I really appreciated the effort and the pride that they take care of, or that they show in those areas. So I really appreciated that. Definitely a place that I would be proud to live in and love as well.
I totally agree. Just beautiful. My biggest attraction to it, obviously, is the heat. Everybody has a pool. There's enough wonderful. Everybody has a pool, so even if you didn't, soak all day somewhere, and I love that. There's a lot of really great things to see there that obviously we never got in Oregon, but just the Tonto National Forest to Grand Canyon. But the terrain is diverse. You can still go skiing in Arizona, and you can, or fry like a crisp down in the Tombstone, Tucson area. So there's a lot there, and I really like it. I love the growing there because it grows all the yummy foods that I like to eat. So all the citrus you could ever want, avocados, olives. The people are amazing. What I didn't like about Arizona was how many people were there. Everyone is moving there. And if you're not, you're weird, because it's getting very overpopulated. And as we've mentioned before, we really want to be in our very own space. So we're just going to blow over to Mexico and go right to Texas. I liked Texas. I like a lot of the parts of Texas because it's such a large state. It has so much to offer. If you like desert, it's got it. If you like hot, muggy climate, it's got it. If you like hills and green, beautiful hills, it's got that too. It's also got swamp areas. The moisture is abundant in the ground soil. There was not all places that I liked, but the places that we stayed really helped us to see what Texas had to offer. So we got to see the Saginaw area, which is just above Fort Worth, and all of that area is just beautiful. They've got some really neat open farmlands and some hilly areas. Really beautiful, green. Of course, it is just coming off the spring, but beautiful. And then we were down towards Huntsville, and that was a little bit more swampy. Not necessarily what I'd like to see in an area, but we were able to travel and see like Central Texas, Waco, and a little bit south of Waco, between Waco and College Station, and right in that area. Gorgeous. I loved it. And then hill country was really beautiful. Although I'm not sure I'd want to live in hill country. Oh, it's pretty terrain.
Yeah, so overall, really like Texas. Got a great feel about it, and a lot of great places that I think that we could definitely call home. I'd love to do more exploring first, but there's definitely lots of opportunity there.
I like Texas too. I thought it was just really neat to go and see how many people were so patriotic, how many people were such God-fearing, amazing people. I liked it a lot.
Arkansas may like you like you lots. Arkansas is kind of what got this whole crazy adventure started. Harvest watches a few folks on YouTube for homesteading and gardening and all that, and Arkansas was mentioned more than once. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of what got the whole ball rolling here. So, and we've not been disappointed at all. I mean, the people are great, the area is great. There's lots of wide open spaces, and there's lots of, in town fun stuff to do. So, we've definitely enjoyed it here. I don't know that we've done a ton of trips within Arkansas. We just kind of got a chance to drive around a bit. We saw some great friends from Oregon who live here, and that was super fun. They showed us around a bit. So yeah, it's definitely high on the list.
I am finding the terrain beautiful. It's hilly, although they call them mountains. It's got tons and tons of trees, and from what I understand, the fall is beautiful because it's got a bunch of deciduous trees, and so they all change colors, and lots of water, like rivers and lakes and streams. It's just really, really beautiful. I'm really enjoying the terrain, and the pastures and valleys and all that, just gorgeous. I haven't been disappointed at all. Actually, what I have been, I take that back. I haven't liked the cities as much. I've been through Little Rock and Fayetteville, and then so those bigger cities, they're not my favorite, but I wasn't going to live in a big city anyway. The smaller towns, super cute, really cute, and chances are good we would live next to a smaller town. So this has been one of my favorites, just visually so far. Two bonus states that I did not anticipate being something that I would consider necessarily were Oklahoma and Missouri. They're a little bit higher. Well, the northern part of Arkansas is also a little bit higher on the just colder wise, a little bit in the more cooler regions. But both Oklahoma and Missouri are really beautiful states. There's just some gorgeous countryside about them. I think Oklahoma, one of its drawbacks is the tornadoes and being in Tornado Alley. But there are places that you can avoid that within the state. So if that ended up being a state on our list, we would definitely look maybe in a region that doesn't get tornadoes as often. But Missouri, my goodness, that just was really, really surprising. I've been to Missouri before, but it was so long ago. I obviously don't remember it. But what a gorgeous state, and I'm really sad that none of the rest of the family got to see it. Thank Thank you so much for joining us again on our now 3rd episode of On the Road with Kirk and Harvest. We've enjoyed just sharing with you some of the things that we've been on our, what's been on our minds and hearts. And with a little over halfway through our journey, we've got a lot more states to visit. And we'll do another recap when we're kind of towards the end so that you get this recap and that the next one. But we've got many more on the roads to come, so stay tuned. Next week's episode is going to be on staying healthy while on the road and some of the things that we have done to kind of change habits. No better time to change habits than on the road. Right, baby?
That's right.
Yeah.
We hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure that you like and share and subscribe and do all those wonderful things with the YouTube videos. And also, you know what? If you have any feedback or questions or comments, please go ahead and leave those in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you and answer any questions you might have. Maybe give us some material for some of our on the road sessions. So, love a little bit of input if you feel like you'd like to do that.
So see you next time. Blessings to you, and we'll see you soon.